This is News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO, mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. And we have Dr. Rollo on the line right now, Superintendent of Lubbock ISD. Dr. Rollo, how are things going in your social distancing?
Well, hello, Matt. It's good to hear your voice. And hi, Dave. I hope you guys are both well. Things are quite unusual, but we've settled into routines, and we're continuing to practice social distancing and all of our safety protocols.
Yes, yesterday I got to go by my kids' school. We handed in our library books, and they handed us, some of the work that they'd done, as well as a few other things. So I know things are moving. They're working at getting stuff done. As well as, we're still getting, until the 22nd, there's going to be curriculum that the students can do distance learning.
Yes, so the 22nd was our already planned last day of classes for the school year. So we will continue to provide remote instruction until that date. We're also in the planning stages of our summer learning. So we'll have some things for the summer going as well.
What students would be doing summer learning?
So during the month of June, since our students have their Chromebooks in first grade through 12th grade, well, actually 12th grade seniors, we're not going to hold them accountable for summer learning. But all other students will have some enrichment activities that parents and students can do at home if they wish to, just to keep their minds going and have some things for them to do during the summer, since they are social distancing and practicing those things. So we're excited about that. During the month of July, we hope to be able to have some small group face-to-face instruction for some of our most at-risk kids to try to fill in some of those learning gaps that have occurred during this time.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Rollo, this is Dave.
Hi, Dave.
I do. Good morning. We're so glad you're here. I do want to remind our audience, if you have a question for Dr. Rollo, feel free to text us at 806-680-2790. Now, my question, something we were talking about this morning, is it seems that there are a lot of people that are not excited about reopening and going out in public in large numbers. Now,
right.
My question is, when the school year starts, do you have any sense of how many people that might not want to send their children to that school environment?
Right. So we would really love to be able to start school and assure everyone that this virus is done, but we also are being realistic and know that that is not necessarily going to be the case. And so we've really stood up remote learning during this time very quickly. And during the summer, we're going to be working on how do we provide blended options for families. They can send their children to school for more traditional instruction, or there will be some blended remote options available for families, too, if they're not comfortable going out yet.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So maybe some online learning for some, huh?
Yes. In fact, I had a parent call me on Friday, and they were concerned about their 4 children who are in our district. All 4 are severe asthmatics. He has an autoimmune deficiency issue, and then his wife is asthmatic, and they have an 85-year-old grandparent living in the house with them. And they were very concerned about the fall and what that would look like. And I just assured them we're going to have options for families. We do not want to put anyone at risk who is vulnerable. So we absolutely will have a plan in place to help address those needs.
So one thing that y'all have been doing so far this semester, as well as I know y'all have plans to do during the summer, is to help students that don't have food at home or need a little help getting food, getting that to them. What exactly is the summer program for food going to look like?
So our current program right now is that we are providing meals Monday through Friday at 16 curbside locations, 16 of our campuses. Plus, we have 24 bus routes that go out into the neighborhood. That plan is going to extend through the end of June. So we'll continue with those same curbside sites plus bus routes through the end of June. When we move into July, we will still have some food service. It may look a little different because, again, we're planning some of that summer learning that we hope to be able to have. So we'll want to make sure that those sites are definitely food service sites. But we're working on the plan for July and August. And then, of course, our current plan will continue through the end of June. We serve about 8,200 kids on the average per day right now.
And again, that's not necessarily, they don't have to be exactly school age. They just have to be under the age of 18. Is that right?
That is correct. 18 and under. Any child 18 or under.
Okay. And how many meals are you serving?
And on the average, about 8,200 a day. And
wow.
that's actually the number of children we're serving. We're giving each child 2 meals. They get lunch and then breakfast for the next morning.
No. So, something that I was surprised of, these are hot meals, right? The lunches?
The lunch is hot, yes.
Okay.
It sure is.
All right. So, now one thing that I read about at Lubbock ISD is that right now they're able to get construction started. I'll have to ask this question after the break. Connor got all like ruffled up back there. So we got to take a quick break. We'll come back with the cash code, and then we'll get back with Dr. Rollo, Lubbock Superintendent of Lubbock ISD, and I'll ask her about construction going on while the kids are gone. This is News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. So back to Dr. Rollo. Dr. Rollo, we're talking about Lubbock ISD. One of the reports that came out that I had read, I don't know, it's probably been a couple of days, maybe even a week, but that y'all had started construction, the summer construction projects that you had planned, and so it gives you a little extra time to get that done.
That's correct, and actually we'll probably be able to get more of them done than we had planned, so we're excited about that opportunity. So a lot of the hardening packages that were part of our November 2018 bond that our community supported, we're able to get into the schools a little earlier and start getting those done now.
So a lot of this had to do with the bond that had been passed last year?
In 2018.
2018, yeah. Okay. Man,
so
time flies.
I know, it does, doesn't it? These are the safety and security features that we're adding to each building that we're getting a head start on right now.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I noticed that you'd said earlier that kind of surprised me is that the students are keeping their Chromebooks through the summer.
We are allowing them to keep them with them during the summer. We have very quickly, almost overnight, become a one-to-one school district where every student has a device that is checked out to them. So they'll be able to do some of the enrichment learning that I shared with you earlier using their Chromebooks during the summer.
Okay. One of the things now, I've got a student that's going to start kindergarten in the fall. How is registration this year going to work, especially for those that are newly coming into the system?
It is actually already up on our website, and people can go ahead and start registering. So if you haven't done so yet, please do. Please go ahead and register. We've had about 20% of our families that have already pre-registered for next year.
Okay, and so are you supposed to register the kids that are still in classes or just the new ones coming in?
Both.
Okay. And
yes.
Okay, and another thing I was wondering is how does are y'all going to set up a time or a way to get the paperwork? Because I know that you've got to have like proof of living in the area and all that fun stuff. Is that something they're going to be able to bring when they first go back to school? Is it something y'all are going to worry about whenever, whenever things start opening back up? How's that going to work?
Right, yes. We haven't communicated a plan on that right now. Right now, it's just if you'll give us your information via the website, go ahead and sign up, then we'll collect paperwork at a later date.
Yeah. Okay, so last month when we talked to you, you had said that I think 96% of students y'all had contact with, but 4% you had not. Have you been able to get in touch with those 4%?
Almost. We're at over 99% in contact with all of our kids.
Okay, and if students aren't turning in homework or whatever, I guess, I don't know if y'all are having a problem with this or not, but if students aren't able to, so is there some. I don't know how to explain it. I guess is there some kind of discipline that's going to go along with that? Are they not going to be able to go on to the next grade?
So we have, if you look at our website, we actually have a grading tab that explains our grading procedures during this time. We know it's an unusual time, so it is not a normal grading scale that we're using right now. So if a student attempts to get their work turned in and it's at least trying, then it will be considered a pass. If they don't do any work, then it's called an incomplete.
Okay. And then kids that would normally go to summer school, is there going to be summer school for them, or is that something that we're just going to pick back up in the fall?
We hope we can do it in July. We have a plan ready to go in July for small groups of students who are at risk. So we have our fingers crossed, and we hope we're able to follow through with that, with, of course, social distancing and safety practices in place.
Okay, and then I know that I've seen this also in the news, so I'd love to hear more about this. But apparently, all three of the ISDs in the area are looking at doing some type of graduation, I guess, outdoors.
Yes.
What's the kind of plan there?
So Keith Bryant, Michelle McCord, and I have been working over the last week on a plan of how we could do an outdoor graduation at each of our stadiums. And, of course, Lubbock ISD would actually have 5 graduations, not just one, where we would have 25% of the facility's capacity. We would social distance the graduates. They would be 6 feet apart in chairs on the field. We would not do the normal handshaking and those things, but having a face-to-face graduation is really, really important to all three of us. This is celebrating a definite milestone in the accomplishments of our students, and so we need the governor's blessing. We prepared a document that shows what we are willing to do as far as safety, that is lined up with the governor's proclamation for retail and restaurants. And it has also been endorsed by the Lubbock Economic Recovery Task Force. So we hope that the governor in his press conference today will give us some guidance and some blessing around this so that we can have a true graduation ceremony for our students.
And so as far as families attending, would this be broadcasted online, or would there be a place for families to attend?
So the graduates would be able to bring guests, but it's going to be limited, and we would need to skip rows and make sure that groups of guests are sitting at least 6 feet apart from each other. So each graduate would probably be able to bring 4 guests. We're still working on the details of that. And then it would also be live streamed so that people could watch it from home as well.
Okay, so and I know that that's a big deal. People, when you're graduating, you want as many people to see it as possible. So
yeah. And we want to put every child's name and picture, even if they're not present, because some of our kids may be vulnerable as well, and they may not be comfortable being there in person, but we still want to celebrate them virtually. So we'll have every child's name and picture on the Jumbotron, celebrate every single student, even if they're not comfortable being there.
Okay, and then one other thing that had popped up was teacher appreciation. I know that teachers are working really hard, and this is they're being put in a position that they normally wouldn't have to deal with.
Yes, we appreciate our teachers so much, and we are so blessed in Lubbock ISD to have just amazing teachers who have pivoted and changed the way they operate almost overnight. They've just done a tremendous job. We put signs in their yards yesterday that said an amazing Lubbock ISD teacher lives here, just trying to thank them for their dedication and hard work and commitment to our students. So teachers, thank you.
All right, Dr. Rollo, we are out of time, but thank you for coming on, and we'll be right back on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO.